Hello everybody, my name is Matthew Koblin. I am the founder and lead developer of HubPlate, the next generation and future of restaurant management and POS systems. In this video, I am going to be showing you how the recipes page works and how it relates to the menu and inventory system. So let's get into it. Here is the recipes page. So what you can do is easily migrate your entire recipe book into the system by dropping either in CSV format or PDF. Some people have their menu recipe books in CSV form. A lot of them have it in PDF. So you could easily upload it. The AI scans everything and puts it in here nice, neat, and organized according to your categories. Again, if you've been watching my videos, AI isn't always 100% accurate, so if it doesn't map and create your categories, you could easily do that simply just mapping a recipe to a category item, which is fairly simple. You can link to different menu categories. So let's pull up this item, for example. You would link it to a menu item, edit recipe. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So when you edit a recipe, this is a cocktail, right? You could give it a name, a description, preparation instructions. And then you have your ingredients down here. You would have your whiskey, liquor, your amaretto, fresh lime juice, and orange twist. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why do you have deducts from inventory? Glad you asked. That's because whatever you set this as, this is what it'll deduct from your inventory, which I'll show you how that works exactly in a minute. It has a smart inventory tracking system. And then you can link it to a menu item. So whenever you edit your recipe, whatever you put your ingredients as, now you could see you can add an inventory item here. If, let's say, you change the recipe from lemon juice to lime or whatever you might want to change it to. You could delete that and add a new item, and that'll show up right here. So the quantity used, ignore the extra one, that doesn't matter. What matters is what you set it in the edit. If you set it to 1, that's typically means 1 ounce. You can specify that if you would like. It's not letting me right now. But you could specify that. Typically it's 1 ounce if you're going by ounces. So in stock, looks like I only have 6. That's probably only 6 bottles. So I am still tweaking the inventory system to work perfectly on how it links. So anyway, this is how the system basically works right now. Is you link your menu item that the server puts in from the ordering system, right? And this is also in your menu as well when you build out your menu. So all of these items are directly connected to all of the items in the recipes. So your burger is connected to your burger. State Fair is connected to State Fair, right? So this is actually what I use to kind of connect everything was a cheeseburger because it's pretty straightforward. So you have your ground beef and your hamburger buns, and I use these 2 items to get the smart inventory system working. So when you go into edit recipe, it says 0.5. I did have it as 8 ounces, but it's going by poundage apparently. Again, like I said, I'm still tweaking this. Use 1 hamburger bun. So that's 8 ounces. A half a pound is 8 ounces, right? That's how much ground beef it uses. So when a server puts in an order, it'll automatically come over here. And I'll go in the next video, I'll go into more in-depth on this inventory system. Scroll down to ground beef. Oops. And we'll see ground beef. So let's say you get, we'll talk about this, just make note real quick. Let's say you get 10 logs of ground beef. Each log is 5 pounds. So this is how you would put it in. You get 10 logs, each log is 5 pounds. The recipe unit goes by ounces. So it basically says how many ounces are in a pound. Each log is 5 pounds. So that's 800 total ounces. When a server puts in an order, that's 8 ounces per hamburger patty. It goes down by 8 ounces. So if an order is put in right now, and I'll show you real quick, we were at 780, right? Order sent to kitchen. Let's go back down to inventory. Go back down to ground beef. 772. 8 ounces of ground beef was just removed from your running stock of inventory. Now that does not change these numbers here. These numbers only change when you get new stock in. When you get new stock in, that's when you update your stock unit. If your logs change to 1 pound or 10 pounds, you would change that. Now typically your recipe unit size isn't going to change. And then what you would do is you would click right here and you would click update all. Once you update all of this, then that will update whatever this changes to. If this changes to 15 and 5 pounds, it'll change this and this. So these numbers only change when you get new inventory in. The running stock changes as orders come in. That's how that works. Again, I used all mock data for this, so it's not completely accurate to what it would look like on your end for an actual kitchen running. Okay, going back to, no, we're in the recipes. Going back to recipes. Okay, so in the recipes page, when you first import your recipe book, the AI will automatically map. So what you want to do is build your menu first. Import your menu, take pictures of your menu and bring that in, and then you would upload your recipe book. What that will do, actually you want to do your inventory first. Upload your inventory before you do your recipes. Because when you bring in your recipes, it will automatically sync to menu items based on the recipe name, and it'll automatically sync your ingredients according to your recipes. So for example, as you can see here, not everything is matched because maybe the recipe had an item in it that it could not find in the inventory. So, Beyond Beef Burger, let's take a look at this real quick. So the Beyond Beef patty, it didn't find that in the ingredients or in the inventory. And that's because I don't have Beyond Beef patties in the inventory system that I currently have right now, so it's not linked. But it will link, like hamburger buns, it automatically links tomatoes, red onions, iceberg lettuce. And mind you, the units, I didn't go through the entire inventory list and set all of the units. I mainly just set up a couple of recipes like the cheeseburgers and the bar. Like I mostly set up the bar because I wanted accurate pouring system for cocktails. Because I think this is a huge advantage for bars. If you're a bar-only restaurant with a small kitchen, this will accurately track all of your booze. I mean, even if you're a big kitchen in a small bar and you only make like 4 or 5 cocktails, this will track by the ounce. So again, if you get 5 bottles of scotch, and obviously there'd be more than 25 ounces, like this actually should be 125 milliliters. So see, it updated the total stock. Whenever I change this number, it updated it, right? But it does not change the running stock. So to update the running stock, you would click the down button and update all. And then it will update the running stock. But as you can see here, it's at 625. There it is. It's at 625 total ounces. So let's say a cocktail takes 1 ounce, and I'll show you that real quick. Let me remember. I think the Black Russian takes whiskey. No, it doesn't. Honestly, I can't remember what takes the whiskey. Hold on. Oops, not menu recipes. If I go into recipes, there it is, the Sazerac. All right. So let's do this again. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Inventory, bar. All right, rye whiskey. Let's go down to rye whiskey. The rye whiskey, we're going to change this to 125 milliliters. Oh, wait. I did change that to ounces. 125 milliliters is roughly 25 ounces. Oops, my bad. So typically bottles will have milliliters on it, like it's a 125 milliliter bottle. Simply convert that into ounces. And 125 milliliters, if I remember correctly, would be 25 ounces. Because that's what your recipe goes by, right? If your recipe goes by ounces, I was going to say it, there it goes. All right. Bear with me as it loads. Now keep in mind this is all cloud-based, so it saves everything in the database, so that way everything can be pulled in real time and shown to you in real time. So the rye whiskey now shows 6 bottles, 25 ounces each. You have a total of 150 ounces. Current running stock is 149 ounces. So if we go into orders, typically it doesn't take this long, but again, I'm running OBS. For some reason it slows down my internet as well. Oh, where's the Sazerac New Age cocktails? Okay. Let's confirm that. Send to kitchen. And this is how the real-time tracking works, guys. Is you create your recipe, you link that recipe to your menu item, you link inventory items to your inventory to your recipes, excuse me. So as you can see, just a quick side note, the cocktail is mapped to the bar screen, so it goes to the bar screen. So if we go back here into inventory, thank you for your patience and bearing with me. Sometimes it takes a while. If you've got a lot of items in your inventory, it does have to pull that from the database when you click on this. So it might take some time sometimes if you have a lot of inventory items. Let's go into your bar. So we were at 149 on the rye whiskey. Now rye whiskey, 147.33. So if something looks off to you and you're like, that don't look right, well, all you got to do is go into your recipes. How much rye whiskey do you use in a recipe? So I'm not going to edit this to take out time. I want you guys to see, sometimes loading time. Of course, my internet's really slow. I really need to upgrade it, but if you have super fast internet, it should pull it up with super fast, super quick. But again, I have really slow internet, so it takes a few seconds for it to load the information. So we ordered a Sazerac. So it uses 1.67 ounces. That's why it'll pull it to the decimal. So if you use 1.5 ounces, 1.67 ounces, as you just saw, it'll show that and reflect that in the inventory. So that is a really cool feature that I built into this is the recipes. They link to menu items. They link to your ingredients. So the sync ingredients button, it will sync your ingredients to your inventory. The sync menu will sync your recipe items to your menu items. So going back into inventory, if you don't have the item in the inventory, it won't link it, right? So that is how the running stock works, how the smart inventory system works, how the recipe system works. You know what? I'm going to throw it in this video too, the inventory tracking and the inventory system, since we're already discussing it, is you can, these are all of your items, all of your inventory items, all on one page. Excuse me. So what you could do is add a storage area, and you can make that, you can name that whatever you want. This is fully customizable here. If you have something at the bar, dry storage, walk-in cooler, back room, oops. You can say that, back room. And then you can say, if you store black pepper, you can select all the items that are stored in the back room area and select back room. And instead of dry storage, now black pepper is going to be stored in the back room area. This makes it easy for you to go section by section, storage area by storage area, see your inventory, see what the running stock is, what are you running low on. Yeah, super simple, super easy. You could set your stock unit, your stock measuring, recipe unit. Again, I haven't gone through everything and set everything up, so it's not actually going to look like this for you guys once you get it set up. I did set up the entire bar because I was really thoroughly testing this system out with bar items, because I think accurate pouring tracking, I think, is a huge benefit to bars and restaurants. But you could see how it basically works. These, of course, would be converted into ounces. Just basic how to do it is however you have it set up or whatever you receive it in. Like you have 5 bottles or 125 milliliters. Just convert. In fact, looking here, you don't need to convert it into ounces. It does it for you. I forgot I did that. If it's 125 milliliters, it does it by 5 and it converts it into ounces because that's what your recipe unit is. Converts it into ounces. So for whenever your recipe comes in, it'll deduct it from the recipe. And so whenever you want to do inventory, you could simply say take inventory, do dry storage. And now you could put, how many units of this do you have? What do you have of this? X, Y, Z. You could save the inventory, and then that is recorded here. So just to show you real quick, I have French fries in the freezer when I was testing this out. If you have 40 bags, like theoretically, so how that works is running stock will take away from whenever an order is put in, like let's say a side of fries is 8 ounces. You would create a recipe for a side of fries, 8 ounces, and that's the whole recipe, right? So whenever a side of fries gets put in, it'll deduct 8 ounces of fries from your running stock. And then that'll take it down. And so theoretical, let's say you go through 10 bags, that'll say 31 in your theoretical right here. And then when you go to record it, if you actually have 40 bags, or let's say you only have 20 bags, but you should have 30, you'll see that variance. You'll be like, okay, this is off, something's off here. Like we're either over serving or somebody's taking bags of fries home. If you understand that, right? I probably didn't explain that properly enough. So let me just go through it step by step. So for sides, because you're not charging for sides, you would create a recipe for a side of French fries, which would be 8 ounces. And then you would map that to your inventory item, which is French fries, right? So you'd say French fries deducts from inventory 8. So that'd be 8 ounces. And then that would be linked to your menu item, which it should already be linked to side fries. Scroll down here. Yeah, it's already linked because it's not showing it on here. It's not linked. Oops. Damn it. I keep clicking it before it's fully loaded. Let it load first. Why isn't side of fries showing up? I need to fix that. Is it just French fries? Oh, hand-cut fries. But that's the side order. Anyway, I know I was testing it out earlier and it was actually deducting, so that's interesting. I need to look into that. Anyway, when you map your sides and your additional sides and your recipes to your menu items, when the menu item order is put in, it deducts that side as well from the inventory. So when you go into inventory and your walk-in freezer, let's say you have 40 bags, and let's say each bag is 1 pound, and your recipe unit is ounce. As you can see, it updated the total stock to 640 total ounces. So if you wanted to update the running stock, let's say you just did inventory, you just got some new stuff in, update running stock, now your running stock is 640. So if I remember correctly when I was testing this before, if I go in here, French fries, so I do not have French fries tied to the side. So this is how you troubleshoot if something's not going right. Okay, so we have sides, right? And we have French fries as a side. So we should be able to link this recipe . Recipe of French fries. Oh, you know why? Because that's not how you link sides. So the way you link sides, I just remembered this. I had to build it a little differently. My apologies. the way you link add-ons and sides is you go into the three dots and you would link it to a side, a dressing, or an add-on. Linked French fries. It is linked. And if you use 8 ounces of fries, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys are laughing at me right now, like, this guy even know what he's doing? There we go, see? I did deduct from it. So I did have it set up right. Okay. So it deducted 8 ounces of fries from the total running, from the running stock. So that's how that works. You link it to the side. And then add-ons work the same way. If you go into recipes, and then you go into add-ons, so like an extra patty would be a recipe. So for any of your add-ons or additional sides, your upsells, your dressings, you would just create a recipe for it and then define what that recipe is. So this is 8 ounces for each one, right? And then when you link that, because that's an add-on, right? So once you create that recipe, you would link it to your add-on, and the recipe is an add a patty, and the add-on is add a patty, so you just link it, which this is already linked. So if they order with an extra patty, if they order a double cheeseburger, now it takes away 16 ounces. An additional side, same thing. I named it side of hand-cut fries. And additional sides is a menu category, so I believe this should actually be linked to the hand-cut French fries, $4.99. And this is 12 ounces, so if you go into edit recipe, the additional side you can make it 12 ounces. So say a side of fries is 8 ounces, but your side of hand-cut fries that you charge $5 for is 12 ounces, you would define that here. So if we go into orders, and say we do a State Fair cheeseburger, and they wanted an extra patty, and again the add-on, a bacon slice, that's a recipe. You create a recipe, bacon 1 slice, and link it to the add-on of bacon 1 slice, and it'll take 1 slice of bacon from your running stock. And then we click fries, confirm, and let's say additional side, they also wanted it hand-cut fries, confirm. So 20, that would be 20 ounces of fries should be taken away from the inventory, right? Which if we go in here to walk-in freezer, let's refresh the page. Boom. 20 ounces of hand-cut French fries was just taken out of the running stock. So you could see what ingredients are being used in real time, how much you have left in running stock, and then when you run your actual inventory, you can see what the difference is, essentially. And so if we go into walk-in cooler, I'll show you here, bacon, took a slice of bacon away because we also added a slice of bacon to that. And if we go down to ground beef, took some ounces away from the ground beef. And what about the bun? Oh, bun is in dry storage. Right? Hamburger buns, took away a hamburger bun. Simple. That's it. And par, I believe, I need to fix that too. That should be editable. It'll warn you. So it says critical because it's at 5. Stock unit of 5. Once it gets below your par level, that's when it says it's critical. So like this, the grits, if that drops down below 10, then that'll say critical. And of course, you could export all of your inventory, each individual storage area. You can export the inventory when you take your inventory. You can upload vendor CSVs, inventory CSVs. You can pick which columns you want to see. If you don't want to see all of these columns, you could take them away. Your inventory logs. So this actually shows you everything as far as your inventory, what's being taken away from your inventory and how much is being taken away per order. So as you can see, these are the cheeseburger orders that I've been putting in, all of the ingredients. There's that Sazerac that I put in earlier, all of the ingredients and how much it took away from inventory. And you can also export this according to last 50, 100 to 500 entries, the estimated total cost of all of the ingredients, which is your inventory logs. Now, we also have waste logs here. So if you throw away 8 ounces of ground beef, that'll take away from your running stock as well. And it'll show you how much the total recorded waste is according to the price that you put into what the cost of the product is. And of course, you could log the waste. I need to add an export feature to this as well. So yeah, you could export current inventory, the physical inventory of what you just took, waste. Oh, there's your waste logs export feature. I already have it. And your pour logs, your inventory logs. So you could export all of those. Now here's some, I might move this to the menu section because it really doesn't make much sense having it in inventory. I'll show you that in the next video. I'm going to wrap this up because this video is already really long. This was how to do recipes, how to do inventory, and inventory logs. So yeah, all of those 3 pages go hand in hand. I showed you how to import your menu, how to map menu items, how to map add-ons, how to add add-ons, the sides, the dressings, how to link the recipe menu items. And again, just really quick, you can go in, if the AI doesn't automatically do it for you, you could go in and link it yourselves. So as long as you have the menu item there, and as long as the inventory item is there, you can link those items together. All you got to do is click, link menu item. If it's an add-on, link add-on. If it's a side, link the side. If it's a dressing, link the dressing. Just like that. Same thing with ingredients. If you go in, no, it's on this one. If it says unlinked, you can link it. So yeah, it doesn't know what top up is. What is that? So you could just click link item. You could search for it in your inventory and link whatever item you want, to whatever it is. Pretty straightforward. If you guys have any questions on how to do any of this, feel free to send me a message, email me. That information should be in the description below. DM me, like, comment, share, all of that good stuff. Again, to wrap up, my name is Matthew Koblin. I am the founder, lead developer of HubPlate, the future generation of restaurant management and POS. And that is how you do your menu, recipes, inventory, and inventory logs. The smart inventory tracking, the recipes, and the menu system, and HubPlate is, I believe it's bar none, and separates us far apart from the competition as being highly innovative, and honestly quite amazing. I am very impressed with how it came out. If you guys see anything, any kind of feature or anything you would like to see added to this, please let me know, and I will take your feedback. I am very open to feedback. Thank you for your time. You guys have a wonderful day.